Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Hello and welcome everybody to the Titans Esports League. I'm Not a Valve Game, joined here by Halfling. Today we've got an interesting matchup from what I've heard, aggressive, active teams, the Iceborn Exodia and the SYN at Night. Halfling, talk to me.
Yeah.
What about these teams has got you so excited?
Generally, so first off, it's a cross group match. It's one of our, I believe, one of our later ones here in the season. And a big thing kind of on the watch is specifically seeing how SYN at Night is going to compete outside of their group. They've been a very big heavy hitter. Yes, there's a little bit of an elephant in the room in Group A. I don't even need to mention it because we saw exactly what that meant last week with just the stomp from the other Iceborn squads. So now Iceborn Exodia coming back here. Maybe going to get even extra revenge and salt in the wound here against SYN at Night. That's kind of the big thing going on here. A little bit of kind of, address Glaze. Thank you so much for making content for us. But in general, it's going to be just an exciting match because of specifically the bot lane matchup. Just how strong both these players are is going to be great to see. And a little call out towards Desi as well, being a little bit of a sleeper jungler. I've also liked Xiao PP in terms of how they've functioned. But popping into this draft here, we haven't quite patched over yet. To me, from what I've seen, stuff looks kind of about the same, business as usual. Haven't quite identified anything super broken, so expecting stuff to kind of pop through, being like your Xin Zhao's, your Jarvans in the jungle top lane, and Best is going to be priority ban until games 2, game 3, and looking towards maybe your Rumbles, your Casantes. I've been seeing Orns pop up more and more, but mostly that's here in Vanquisher. Bot lane, though, still kind of an open book. A Draven ban is very interesting there, but I'm very much expecting to see a Corki bust out from the side of SYN specifically. They've been playing that 4 to 5 weeks that they've played, so just an eventuality more than a if they will actually do it.
Talking back about the getting active and that bot lane, I think Draven is kind of the personification of that. A character that, if it gets started, it can just keep going. And so now with those first picks, the band's closed out with LeBlanc. Orianna going to be the first pick. And is that something you expected, or are you thinking you would have wanted something else?
Maybe game 2. I don't exactly know what I would expect there. The general thing that I always like to that I always often see is something like that Wukong or Xin Zhao specifically. Orianna isn't bad though. It leaves you with a lot of options. Jarvan also banned off the table here. So you don't necessarily want to pick the Xin specifically because of how well both Yanara now picked and Wukong counter the Crescent Guard, the ultimate, just being able to stay inside of that range fairly comfortably and dance in and out specifically in Yanara's case. So maybe not going to see that, but there's still a lot of junglers here on the table.
Well, Aphelios will be the follow-up pick for the Exodia in response to that Wukong. And you mentioned these junglers being highly contested. Do you think that we're just going to wait towards... Well, actually, we do have a second round of bans, so it doesn't look like we are going to prioritize that Xin Zhao, though. We're picking up the Thresh for ourselves. Now, Thresh is somebody I see that, at least, especially in these, different divisions and whatnot, you're a Thresh player, or you're kind of picking him up to prevent it. So, you know this guy for playing Thresh, or...
Both Willie and BR have proficiency on the champion, but Thresh has really fallen out of favor recently, just because specifically in the hook aspect, Nautilus and Blitzcrank do better. In terms of the peeling aspect, just your enchanters like your Namis and your Lulus generally do better. So Thresh kind of exists in this middle point where you have to work so hard to achieve the same result as someone else, and they also just have a higher ceiling. You have that depth charge on the Nautilus to be guaranteed engage. You have Poly on the Lulu just to cause so much chaos. So I'm not the biggest fan of the champion, but if you're very proficient like Willie is, you can prove me wrong. Last ban's the Nami I called out. That's going to go off the table. Yorick is a very interesting target ban here. And 2 junglers off the table here for SYN and Alistar. Generally not supposed to be picked into Thresh, but I'm happy with this matchup personally. The Flay is pretty slow.
I mean, Alistar also kind of gets into that same narrative of the getting active. Sylas, though, the pickup, you had a reaction to that. I want to know what that's about.
So it's the specific, just the ultimate from Sylas. You get to steal Unbreakable. You just get 50% damage reduction at level 6 every single team fight. That's kind of good. So a little bit of an oversight here, and Potato Senpai is just actually wiping the floor with people when they're getting picks like this, when they're allowed to play aggressive. I remember last time I had the pleasure of watching this player, they were in front of the tower on the Sylas and Ahri and just dancing with that tower range. So happy to see that kind of back in form, but it's not actually on Potato Senpai because I messed up my champions. That's going in the jungle for Xiao Pipi here, and that final lock-in was the Rek'Sai top here for Jolts, which is supposed to be something that's able to out-sustain the Ornn specifically. But in terms of scaling here, I love the Icy comp.
I've been a little bit out of depth when it comes to, League. I've been shying away from it for a little bit. And I see Rek'Sai in the top lane, and I see Sylas in the jungle. I know Sylas was... capable of doing it, but Rek'Sai top is something that you spoke about it just before, how it's supposed to out-sustain the Ornn. Is that all its purpose, or what else is it providing?
It's supposed to be this automatic wave clear tool. You're able to take short trades in the fight, typically against something like a Asante, like an Ornn, like a Malphite, and through that passive with the Burrow, you're able just to resustain that back up. And even though you're going to be losing by probably about 50 to 100 health per trade, you're going to restore 200 back. And the enemy player is not going to be able to do that, of course. So you're meant to kind of short trade at the very brink and just kind of fist fight. But Ornn short trades are phenomenal with Bellows Breath and the Brittle Procs. So it's going to be a little harder to do this on as a Rek'Sai specifically. I've seen some good Rek'Sais in the past year, especially on Vanquisher, but from time to time, it can kind of just lay an egg, and then you'll have this very useless champ slot. So I'm not the biggest fan of Rek'Sai top, but I look at the rest of Sin at Night's comp. I love Wukong. I love Syndra Wukong in terms of just pick comps specifically, not necessarily poke more than anything else. You're meant to land, dump a full combo into someone, and then just kind of walk back and hopefully that you killed that one person, that the objective is now yours, and if it's not, then it can get a little dicey because you're going to have to burn that cycle, you're going to have to burn that unleash power here. Whereas I look at Icy's comp, it's just kind of the very unpleasant term is like a full just unga bunga team fight. It's not stupid what they've got going on here, but it is just, I would say, easy to pilot. Is the hope, but you have to get over laning phase. There isn't really anyone to play around here for Icy, especially for Xiao Pipi. Yeah, Silas wants a lane to play around. Aphelios Thresh, typically they're supposed to kind of go even to slightly losing into Yannara. Level 1, they're going to have the advantage, of course, because Alistar level 1 sucks, but afterwards it's going to be a little on the harder side. And Orianna into Syndra is meant to go 50-50. As well, but once again, not necessarily like a guaranteed play here for Salah. So a little concerning here, but if you can get off the floor, no problems.
Well, we are heading into game. We'll see who is off the floor and who gets put down onto it as we see these two teams. I mean, the activity motif is kind of what's going on here because you addressed it not so eloquently. The Unga Bunga-esque comp that Ice has here does need a little bit to get going, but you mentioned the pick comp that SYN has as well, that, again, activity. They want to get active and get something done. So we'll have to watch these two junglers and see exactly where they go. I'm assuming that Desi does want to play around this mid lane, the Syndra, but, you know, that's neither here nor there just yet.
Wukong wants to just rush for level 6 more than anything else. You want to get that cycle online. Your ganks aren't terrible. You've got the clone, you've got the dash there from the E, but it's not gank assistance, it's just sheer damage, and it's not as high as something, say, like a Lee Sin or even, you know, God forbid, a Master Yi getting played here in Vanquisher, but it's still some damage on the ganks, whereas in comparison, the Silas already has those chains online, usually at level 3, level 2 even for some people, just because you want that double proc of the passive for the E to help your clear speed. But you can see both these mid laners, we mentioned activity, and they are down and dirty already.
They want to throw it back and forth a little bit, throw some damage at each other. It looks like Orianna wants to get her vision down just to watch where this Wukong is going. Make sure she doesn't get too active too soon. And this top lane is a point of contention we spoke of, because the Ornn is always I always see him as a kind of neutralizer in a way. He always just kind of exists in the lane. He wins some lanes. He doesn't lose though. He doesn't really like get dominated by anybody. But right now he's beating on this Rek'Sai real hard. She has to slip away, but it's
Happy
just
to do so.
Exactly. It's just so, I don't know. It's a risky pick into something like this Ornn, but you mentioned the healing that it provides, but I want to see it be fruitful. What exactly does it need to be fruitful?
Well, you need AD. You need to have some sort of threat towards the Ornn. Brittle's just so much damage early on for Rek'Sai, but the whole point is that there you saw push the lane, get that first plate, get a little bit of a, not true cheater, but a cheater reset off. And you can see he has that long sword in the inventory, start gathering extra stats. But it should get matched pretty quickly by Ornn because of same passive. Able to just build items in the lane, of course, so going to be a little bit of a point of contention, and Manny's going to actually take that lantern in, but Xiao PP in the area.
Looking to get aggressive right now because Zhao is here, and Zhao is looking to get on this Yunara. The chains are in, the stun is there, but do we have enough damage? It looks like we're very, very close, and it is enough. First blood going to Zhao, but the Alistar's in there, pinning him to the wall, and Desi comes in to poke him with that stick real quick, making sure he goes down right when he needs to.
Yeah, a little early on to get caught up by a gank there, especially when you're on that push. You want to try and find a ward. You can see Alistar already doesn't have that in the inventory. They wanted to go for a defensive setup. You can see it sitting in the in their tri-brush there. So kind of a good gank from Xiao Pipi. The response close enough in the area from Desi. You can see neither crab was taken, so both junglers wanted to get active early, and Desi had the reap, but just a little bit slower on the clear more than anything else. As you can kind of see the big turn up. The big thing here is for turn up Tom. They blew that flash very quickly, and it did get eaten up with a minion. You can't anticipate that more than anything else, and that means Xiao Pipi just has the full access to get on top of you and just has so much damage like Silas does early, the red buff adding to that, of course. I was expecting maybe a little bit more of a continuation. Desi had Conqueror stacked up, start hitting Willie, you have BR in the area, maybe try and go for a 2 for 2. But it's perfectly acceptable not to take that risk.
I mean, you got what you wanted, and you got out. I'm happy to take that. We got the return kill from that first blood, so you don't wanna bite off a bit more than you can chew. And the activity has been matched. It's been made, and so it looks like Alistar wants to stop the backing activity that's going on, but he's taking quite a bit of damage now, rooted and put in place. He might. I don't think he's gonna fall just yet, but he's taken a good chunk, 75% of his HP.
They've got refills on the Alistar plus the passive, so the fact that they didn't die means that's a very good stop. Desi's in the area here. Both Willie and Manny now feel very pressured. They want to try and get this push on. They can let it come crash into, but now they're not able to manage it at all. They have to just sit back, turn up Tom. Doesn't necessarily have a buy advantage. Yes, they've got boots in the inventory, but that means literally nothing in terms of combat stats. But Xiao Pipi is going to be on a ward here, so this gank is spotted out. Desi's in the area ready to look for it. And I like what Willie's maybe trying to do there, looking for a little bit of a flay, but that's such a stretch this early on in the game.
It's also, you want to, but now we know the gank is here, and we're backing up, we're emoting, but we're hooking the Alistar, we're putting him up and slamming him in those chains, getting another one for ourselves, but Wukong's here trying to get a return kill on the support, but it's not enough damage going into him, which means it's a 1 for none.
1 for none. I kind of like the idea from BR. They're expecting to stay much tankier than they were. Aftershock, of course, requiring CC to deliver that tankiness, and BR just wasn't able to get that done. So very good gank, a good idea coming in from SYN, but just not the execution they needed. And that's going to give Icy a fairly happy lead, especially on this Silas. Silas needs this gold early on to stay ahead. If you're trying to jungle on this champion, you start to lose your gold income around in between 2 to 3 items, and Silas kind of literally scales. He always stays relevant. He's always a very scary champion to deal with. So you want to continue to be just feeding as much gold in this champion, get them ahead, allow the Silas to build class cannon just sheerly off of they're so ahead in both levels and gold that it doesn't matter that the champion is typically on the squishier side. And they're able to do that successfully so far. Though Dragon going over to SYN, looks like they're going to be pretty happy trying to scale into this. I don't like their chances in a 55-minute game, but come 35 minutes, they're going to have a pretty solid comp. They're going to have Turn Up Tom on probably 3 items. They're going to have Desi on 2.5. They're going to have Jolts on 3 pushing side. So that's going to probably be what they're trying to play for, but so far Beer's getting caught on the bot side again.
Again, he takes some damage, but again, he slips away. A good chunk taken, but that passive and those refillables will heal him up quite a bit over time. You mentioned Jolts going over on the side lanes. Is it going to be something, I don't want to say, the exact same as like a Scion or whatever, right?
About.
But is it going to be something akin to that style? Force somebody to respond to you or just keep shoving down the lanes?
It'll depend on how much Jolts can kind of push this lead as well.
Oh, Hook on the side, pushed him back in, but shoved right into the tower. Slammed down. Willie does not get away, but BR falls first. Support for support. Turn it around. Turn Up Tom takes it.
Not terrible. All things considered with how that went, not terrible. BR continued to hold on to this flash, though. It's starting to get to the point where you really got to use it, brother. You got to burn that ability. It's too good. Especially, I'm assuming this Alistar has Hex Flash. Otherwise, what are you doing? You are just failing the creator. So, other than that, not bad. A kill going to the inventory. Manny's super happy. Turn Up Tom also getting that, but the CS in the inventory right now is just so good for Manny that this is a perfect fight. You can see this beautiful hook from Willie, just the good prediction. This is what you need when you're playing Thresh. You're justifying this champion now. The headbutt into the tower is going to get them this return arc, barely going to land, but it's just well done from the Icy bot side, trying to get aggressive, trying to abuse this BF sort of advantage that they have right now, and also the farm advantage, because that call is going to finish really soon. I can see this being an issue come third Dragon.
Well, the activity continues on, and we're looking to get on Manny now. We're trying to make sure he doesn't continue this bit of a rampage he has. That BF sword isn't going to help you right now because Turn Up Tom picks up one on Manny with the help of BR.
Yes, he's in the area.
But the boys are coming down, but Desi's here to dissuade any more aggression. Lantern out, we're safe for now.
Safe for now. You can even see the flash swap to Hex Flash. So BR's had it the whole time. Just barely not going to find that hook there. I like where Desi's moving though. They're technically a step behind of Zhao PP for like the bot side ganks, but they're close enough to where it's not that big of an issue. And the positioning is really adjusted from SYN here, so I should start kind of settling on towards Grubs here for this next clear. Both junglers should be heading topside off this reset, and here's that kind of ugly head rearing in the Rek'Sai has advantage now at this moment. This is where the champion is strongest, able to out-sustain Nichols, who was forced to TP now at this moment. Buy not the worst for either of these characters, though, so can kind of coin flip right now. I think the big discrepancy is really going to start showing up in mid lane here. You need to see who gets caught off first, but it's going to be Jolt's.
Well, we say he's caught out, but we do snag that ultimate away with the Silas R. And now we're looking to get these grubs for ourselves. I don't know if there's going to be much of a fight for this. I don't think there will be. No, we have no interest if we are SYN. We're just looking to, take some time to ourselves, clear out our camps, and we'll accept the fact that we've lost grubs.
Yeah, a little bit of a priority whoopsie there. Desi a little slow, trying to clearing the camps first before grubs. Yes, that's the right idea, but you have to break the rules sometimes in order to really get these objectives. And so that's good on Zhao PP. So we might see a pause here in a second. There it is. And we're gonna instantly come back. Don't worry, there's a second pause. We'll have to sit through it anyway. But I think a big thing is we saw Night Parade try and take some advantage here. Just off of that poor grub positioning. They're like, oh, okay, I can try and go bot, but the pings came almost instantly from both Willie and Manny, so being very heads up on this map. I like seeing this from Icy because you need to be comfortable looking at this map. You need to be ready and willing to deal with jolts on this map specifically because they're building towards that Titanic Hydra. It's meant to get that as much priority as they can. So I'm assuming we're going to see something very akin to a Scion where you're just sitting on that side lane. You're doing a whole lot of nothing other than farming, but this is a bad decision from jolts here. Zhao PP is right in the area. This is a free kill getting delivered.
We'll see exactly if Jolts realizes his mistake sooner rather than later, but it seems like sooner is now. The Ornn calls in the Forge. Now we slamming it down. Oh no, the flash away is just in time, but the tunnel comes through, this time from the Silas. Slam down with those chains and making sure we secure it for ourselves. Thumbs up, thanks for the kill. But on the bot side, we're going down, we're spinning around, and we're making sure we get something done. 2 kills going the way of the SYN.
A big play from SYN. I don't like at all that decision. So we're gonna see this bot side specifically, and it's just gonna be the obvious side lane play. We know Zhao PP's top side. We know they took this. I don't know why Jolts wasn't recognized this. Hold up, there's a gank on live.
Oh, there is, and that's getting active again. The Alistar coming towards the mid lane, making sure Night Parade gets himself something delicious right there, and that's a little extra gold for the pocket, picking up the mid lane.
Yep, exactly, kind of calling back. I don't even have a second here. They're trying to fight Zhao PP before this dragon.
Well, it looks like BR is the target for now, but Turnip Tom here putting in some damage, putting in some numbers, but Zhao forced away, the dragon being reset, leashed back into the pit beforehand, but it looks like the Syndra needs some help here, needs some saving. The heal is good, but not good enough. Shut down is this Syndra, while the rest of the boys on the SYN need to run away. No, they're still securing this Drake just in time before they are stopped, but BR is looking to buy time for his boys. Get out, boys. I'm taking the fall this time.
2 dragons, not bad, but the 2 kills are going to feel really good, especially for Manny, who very close on that stop there. But Manny had probably some of the worst guns that you could have to fight anything there at all, and somehow the situation turned out where you want those guns. You want that route to try and lock down Night Parade. You have the damage in the area with Zhao PP, so not terrible at all. It's just kind of unfortunate that another dragon's starting to go away. These are starting to really stack up, and that is not a Infernal Dragon in the top left. Don't worry, it's Hextech, which is going to be beneficial to either of these teams. So let's see both these teams really start pressuring that as hard as possible here. Of course, 4 minutes until that timer, so we're going to be watching for this Herald spawn, and that should mean this shift should come from bot and mid. I'd like to see Syndra move bot lane, but already burned the TP kind of at a weird time, so maybe she goes things are kind of happening a little out of order, but that's no big deal here. big thing so far is Willie almost dying again to the bot side. Turnip Tom off of that bot gank was able to really catch up in terms of farm with Manny, only being about 5 to 10 down at this moment instead of 20 just the last time we saw them. So really big here as Zhao Pipi's going to try and find Turnip Tom.
Well, this is a big turnaround. Turnip Tom can put in some big numbers, but it doesn't matter. The thumbs up is there to make sure he knows. Yeah, thanks for that one. But the Cyclone comes out in mid, trying to put down Protato. Protato, though, won't live for too long. Desi picking up one for himself. Zhao is...
DC'd again.
Oh.
100%. Yeah, there it goes.
At least they're being good sports about it.
they're gonna murder that poor Silas.
As soon as he loads back in. Listen,
yeah.
he's fair game once he loads back in. Right now, we're not gonna be mean, right? When he's out of the game, we won't kill him. That doesn't. But once he's back in, he's fair game.
I wonder if that was an all chat. If they said it all chat, like, oh, jungle DC again, gonna pause in a second, or if they recognize that. Because that'd be, honestly, big ups on them to recognize that and at least wait till he reconnects. But unfortunate, I don't think this play was going to work either way. They were going to try and flank with Zhao PP and try and run like this kind of collapse. You can see the fellow Manny coming from bot side, Thresh coming from the jungle, but they're just too far away regardless. Maybe if the Silas could have made it more towards Wolves and like really hide in that jungle pretty deep, it's a possibility, but Manny just doesn't really have the damage to match up to Night Parade right now. Syndra has Unleash Power, has level 10, has an item as well. And usually as a mid laner, that's just more important. These tier 3 boots also finished up. So I don't like this play regardless. It was going to go bad anyway. Now it was just guaranteed bad because this disconnects. I wonder if this has to do with the server instability or if this is just a player-specific thing.
Well, regardless, the activity that they were trying to get something on the return for Protato getting caught, I assume. And unfortunately, that or he was trying to text tech gate out. And he can no longer do that. So, regardless. The game state right now, the Drakes have handily gone to SYN, and we have gotten, the grubs on the side of Ice, but it's a bit of a... back and forth, because initially Ice did have the advantage. They were the one taking the initiative, getting in there, getting active, but now SYN has kind of brought it back around. What exactly are we doing, It's not, like, by any means over. It's literally, like, 100 gold separating them. It's nothing by any means, but, like, the momentum, the tempo, you know what I mean? The tempo is certainly in SYN's court of the game. So what exactly are we doing here if we are Ice to kind of reestablish ourselves to get the game back the way we want it to be?
Icy just need to get more comfortable with farming. It's great to try and make plays with Silas, but the big thing is that it has to be Silas directing these plays, and it has to more be ganks and side lane movements, not jungle brawling, which seems to be what they're kind of trying to do more. Yes, I know they just got a gank off bot side, but that's exactly what it should be. Get the one and done, get it delivered to Silas or your laner, and just get out and be done. Take those little advantages and try and stack them up, because we get into those 30+ minute team fights, and while yes, I like SYN's comp at specifically 35 to around 30 to 35 minutes, that doesn't mean Icy is out of the picture. It just means that SYN has more to do in those late game situations. Icy has a very one note comp. Their goal, as we mentioned, unga bunga fight, go in, just duke it out with the front to back comp. You're gonna be successful. And just kind of abuse the Silas for ball delivery and allow a fellas to go. So the big thing they need to do is just get comfortable scaling. They don't seem too confident in their lead right now, especially probably looking at the situation happening top lane. I believe I see one plate left for this Rek'Sai to go to claim first tower, so that can definitely feel demoralizing. But you have to accept, as you yourself even mentioned, this Thorn is meant to be the great neutralizer. Sit there, soak gold, and scale very well.
I mean, right now, the top lane has been, except for that one gank, has been relatively inactive. You know what I mean? It's not really I don't want to call it a nothing burger, but it's kind of been that. It's been absolutely... The Rek'Sai died once, and that's all that's happened. And she took a plate. Like, that's all that's happened up there. And I think that's ideal for Ornn. absolutely ideal. I'm so happy to just sit there and farm up my gold, make sure I get my items, and then get to the point where I can upgrade my teammates' items, and then get to that late game point where I just become the man. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that's well, what we were discussing before. The Rek'Sai wants to take those short trades and then like get something done with that, but it seems like they're not getting the full value.
The plates are definitely enough of a value. They've got 4 plates. It's not just the one that we saw on camera. They've been doing some off stream mining, but not a whole lot, in comparison to, like the most dominant Rek'Sai that I've seen was getting kills every 2 to 3 waves. Was always full HP, and Jolt seems to be sustaining in lane long enough. They're getting more XP than the Ornn. They're getting more gold than the Ornn, but this is kind of the job of Rek'Sai, just hammer away at the towers more than anything else, get that tower gold going. But I do worry come late game, in the team fight specifically, if Jolt's opts to go away from the lane, uh, what damage are you really going to burst this Aphelios with? Because yes, you've got Titanic, and you are going to probably go like Sterix or Sundered. I'm just throwing stuff out of there. I don't actually really remember the Rek'Sai top build off the top of my head. But you might not have enough to burst Aphelios in a team fight, especially through barrier and through red-white. So, what value do you provide? I 100% agree. Ornn is doing more than enough to be successful in this lane. It's just kind of a question of, can Ornn continue to succeed? Because Rek'Sai is going to ding over to 2 items pretty soon here in the next couple minutes.
Oh, we're in, and
we are
Silas
in.
is dead.
Yeah, Silas is very dead. Don't worry. We're gonna have a second pause in a second. It's just the way things go. But I do worry when we start to get to these kind of more items are got for the Rek'Sai. The wave clear is going to get better. The towers are going to start dying faster, and Ornn's going to require help. And that's where I kind of worry specifically, because then you're going to be pulling this like Silas that's been the difference maker on the other side of the map. You're going to start pulling them topside, and Rek'Sai, hopefully expecting that this time, is going to just set up tunnels to be able to get out.
Yeah, and the burst damage is something. Does the Wukong potentially make up for that? You know, like getting in there and bursting them down. But because I know Wukong is like the setup guy. You know, he likes to get in there. He does like the little spindy doodle, and then the team just throws all their damage on top of whoever's like set up for that, and that person dies. But can Wukong, you know, make up for that potential that Rek'Sai is lacking? You know what I mean?
The damage should be greater. The damage should be enough. It's not going to be those like traditional, you know, one hyper carry comps that you see. Like Icy has one of those, and they're going to find a great engage.
Great engage, slammed into the wall, but the Orianna sucks him all in and spins him around a little bit. But the Thresh is still gone. Trapped him in the cage, but it's not going to do too much. We snag onto them, and the Ornn is calling in that ultimate and slamming up, knocking up all 5. Absolutely insane. Desi comes in, trying to clean up the rest, but he only gets 1 while Aphelios is here, tearing through, swapping those weapons around, making sure he gets something. Slammed into the wall that time. You slam my teammate, I'm gonna slam you. And that is a 2 for 3?
2 for 3 in favor of Icy here. Not a bad play at all. I was very worried at the start there that they were just going to let Willie die, no questions asked. There was no follow-up coming, but they were just waiting for the rotations to come in. Man, pretty much a 3-sided flank there. But the effect of this fed Silas, even yes, dying for free from the DC, came back super strong, has that item, is still in great footing there, and the Stolen Cyclone just deals a ton of damage. The AP scalings on that, from the Silas ult specifically, are kind of nuts. So it's just really good to see that, and Silas, of course, is the champion that just uses your ultimate better than you can. It's super frustrating to deal with here. And I don't even think Desi was able to get off their own Cyclone there just from how much CC was coming through.
By the way, Nick hit 5 people with that Call of the Forge God?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he hit all 5 with that. That's insane. Again, granted, it wasn't a tight corridor, but still, he hit all 5 of them. That split up the fight and made it so easy for them to just turn it around. And here comes a hook, easy hook, flay right in and try to get something, but that's
the clone.
not the one you wanted.
Is in fact the clone. The big things you're looking for is Desi no flash. Desi no flash, Potato and Manny no flash. Those are the big flashes you kind of watch on this fight. Desi needs it to engage. Potato and Manny, of course, needed to get away from said engage. So see how this plays go, but they've rotated this Rek'Sai already.
Oh, Alistair's in. Alistair's in. They want to go in. They want to get active, and the Rek'Sai does get something done. Turnip Tom pumps in the numbers, gets a double kill, turn it around, possibly getting a triple kill here. But no, Zhao is able to get out in time. So this means Dragon is on the board.
That is a beautiful two-man scat of the week from Night Parade there. Just stopping any sort of retort onto Zhao PP. Yes, still alive because of how strong that Alistar is on top is stolen by the Sylas, but Sylas can't kill anyone there. You can see kind of rewatch on this replay while they're grabbing Dragon on live here. It's going to be specifically just engaged from BR, and the rotation coming in just off to that left side is going to be Jolts coming in on this flank there. They realize way too late the arc on the initial slow is going to do super well here, and it's that scatter to catch out any sort of resistance coming in from Potato. Typically you want to see that shockwave to try and stop a fight like this, but it's just too late, and they can't do anything, of course. And they were, of course, able to catch out Jolts on live, who's just not been respecting the pathing from Zhao PP, or what seems to be more likely to me is SYN have no clue where the Sylas is pathing.
They just don't know. They don't know. He's in their heads, and by that I mean he's not there, because he's just everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So they catch him out again. That's something this Rek'Sai's got to be a bit carefuler, you know, biting off more than they could chew. Looks like they did want to contribute a bit more to those team fights, because that last one, I would definitely say they were core to making sure all that success happened. Granted, the scatter of the week was massive, but yeah, the Rek'Sai made sure they stayed still so that we could get that. And she was able to slip out afterwards. But still, I want to see this Rek'Sai do exactly that, keep doing that, and getting active in those ways, because that's what these teams do. They get active.
And a big thing too is off of that side lane play specifically, Ornna's like happily gotten ahead of Jolts both in XP and in gold now. So the kind of the 1 point that you have this Rek'Sai for to win lane has not actually been successful, and that's a pretty good chains here. They're gonna find this re-engage.
Looks like they want to go in now and get something. The Forge God is called, and do we get anything? We get a double knockup, but it looks like Manny gets some blood, and that is the Rek'Sai going down. Orange trying to find something else, but Potato finds that kill on the Syndra. Double kill going to the pockets of Manny, and this tower will be the next to fall.
Target focus is terrible there from SYN, and on top of that, just a phenomenal shockwave right at the start there from Potato Senpai, just to make sure nothing really could get responded with. Jolts just denied their entire purpose, already tunneled out, so that's going to be on cooldown, so no way to re-engage. And then it's just BR and Turnip Tom here. This chains are perfectly fine onto BR. They're looking for this re-engage. Yes, people are in range, but the second that shockwave lands, Turnip Tom has to turn tail and run. That Moonlight Vigil is going to go a little wide because of the Z, but Night Parade can't get anything done. Remember, SYN at Night are a pick comp. Their goal is not to just front-to-back team fight like this. You cannot get through the beef that is a super fed Sylas and a 2-item Ornn. You're not going to be able to do that. So when they're trying to just outright contest, outright muscle out Icy from these positions, they're never going to be successful. If they don't change that soon, if they don't adjust to their pick comp, they're just going to lose.
Yeah, it's got to be. They have to be the ones who kind of start that and get the pick that they want. We mentioned it in draft, and you brought it up specifically, that this Syndra and this Wukong want to find somebody and explode them. And it's not going to be Ornn, because like you just said, he's got he's not dying. This guy is not dying. He's doing anything but. He's living. And who's the ideal target right now for these
It's gonna be Aphelios or Orianna. Most likely Orianna, because Orianna hasn't picked up that Seraph's and actually doesn't plan on picking up a Seraph's Embrace this game, period. Or not Seraph's Embrace, Archangels specifically. That shield is super important to an Orianna existing on side lane. And Potato hasn't really adjusted where they're positioning to fix that, so Orianna's gonna be free game here to pick up consistently, but they're not going to really look for that, it seems. They've got Desi moving topside right now. It's a minute 30 before Dragon, and really the big stuff, once again, Desi's missing flash here for another Dragon. BR probably also isn't going to have their flash, and the only thing that you can really abuse here is there's no Orianna flash. Those are your kind of big tools here, and they've already adjusted. Icy recognize this. They move this Orianna into safety in the mid lane, and they're going to leave the Syndra to try and push on side, and the pings are already coming on towards Xiao PP moving there.
Does look like they are trying to See if they could do anything. Desi having no flash for this dragon is massive, because that means this Wukong, who wants to get active and get something done, really cannot slip out with all the CC and all this, damage that they have. This lockdown, this Wukong is caught, and this Wukong is gone. Syndra now backing up this top side. These two beefy boys do not. Well, Rek'Sai is a woman. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I did not mean to misgender you there. But Jolt's actually taking a huge chunk of damage. I forget how much that does sometimes, and I just see like an absolute clobbering come their way from that Ornn, and that's just like Ornn's at that point where he happily sat and got to all of that.
Oh, they're gonna try and 5v5 without Ornn here. Ornn has TP though, and it's gonna be in the middle of the fight. No Syndra close by either. I do not like this contest from SYN at all.
Dangerous. It is definitely dangerous with no flash on the Wukong as well. You have a possibility to, if you get the pick you want, you can get it. This Orianna is a little bit, by herself, but you have to catch her at the right angle, and it doesn't look like we're at the angle to find her just yet. Syndra could try and find something. We do find her with some CC, but we lantern her out, so the Orianna is safe for now.
Yeah, she's safe for now. That lander is a pretty long cooldown, but with some points getting in and some cooldown also picked up, it's short enough where it's hard to abuse. Desi is getting sniffed out here on this flank because of that blue buff specifically, and they're going to be able to find it, but Hextech Dragon picked up virtually for free, other than some blue side camps gone, which I'm pretty sure Zhao PV is perfectly fine giving those up at this point in the game. It's 23 minutes. Losing 2 camps is definitely worth the Dragon. Stops the soul. And they're going to try and find the Syndra on side, and Night Parade might get a little too aggressive. They're happy to try and trade the space here right now.
The stun is there, and Zhao is taking quite a bit of damage, but it looks like they're trying to turn it around. The Rek'Sai ultimate is used by Zhao to try to get something done on this Syndra, but Syndra looking to put that damage down and doesn't have enough! They live!
No damage. No damage at all. That is going to be the call from inside. They want this Baron. 7k already. TP coming in is just going to guarantee they see this now. They see this TP, so they know it's coming, but there's no response. Zhao PP was bot side trying to get a pick, and the vision control just not there at all for Icy. They didn't have mid push until now. They didn't have any vision towards that top side, really. They just dropped those blue trinkets there, so they didn't see it, and just kind of a big mistake. It's going to put SYN in a very comfortable spot. They should go ahead about 2,000 gold here just before this dragon pops. Not enough to call like a happy gold lead, but gold is gold.
Money is money, gold is gold. But right now, we just saw they tried to, they have a pick comp, but what if I just pretend to get picked and live and have my team take Baron, That's just the plan. We do deny the soul point, and it is man, that's just a huge blunder from Ice right there. Fumbling that Baron bot side, though. A little bit of damage going back and forth between, but this Ornn, the unkillable. We'll see how long that lasts. The Forge God is called. Can we get the knock-up in time? We do, just barely getting one up into the sky. Do we have the damage? Setting him up, down, and spinning around. The Rek'Sai falls right into the dirt. And that is one picked, despite the Baron buff.
Looking for this re-engage?
Nope, he's
maybe.
Wukong's invisible here on the side. Can't find anything, but you see this Silas. With this, Alistar ultimate pops it this time. Not going to take too much damage from most anything, but it looks like SYN are wise to it and want to back away. They don't want to take too many risks, but the Wukong burns the ultimate.
Just carousel of bad decision making here from SYN to try and find that fight. Personally, yeah, they come up on top here into positioning. They want to try and find this fight more, and I really don't need them to. Just wait for this cannon mini, guys. You don't actually feel pressured to end quite yet here. And that's another shockwave coming off cooldown. Desi's going to find a TP
knock up
here.
on 3. No. That's a huge knock-up, but it looks like Night Parade is going to get a turnaround kill on the unkillable Ornn. Turn up Tom. It's another one onto the Thresh. BR on the run, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to run for long because Silas goes down, and that is what they wanted.
There's no tank. The whole point of Icy's comp is they have damage if the Ornn can eat the front burst from SYN, and when Ornn is entering that fight at 30% HP, something ridiculously low like that. Look at that, 1200 HP already on this Ornn. There's no fight here for Icy. You don't want to get your back stopped. You don't want to. You just want to get out, give up the tower. It's okay. Make them work for it, but don't go for these fights. You're never going to find success. Xiao Pipi can't make it in time. Manny can't make it in time. The fight's over, and they've just started their like actual engage tools here. So you're just kind of donating gold. You're just blundering here. Now, moving on into this next play, it's 1 minute to Dragon. You can reset. You can 100% reset your mental here as Icy. You should have third item finished up for this Orianna. You have 3 items finished up for Manny here. So you have good gold to try and find this fight. But now is starting to get to the point where this Sylas, who was super ahead and super scary before this, kind of just another average everyday Joe. Just anybody else in this game is the same as the Sylas. He's just a dude. He's just a dude with Zhonya's, but he's just a dude. Yes, 1100 gold, but look at the side of SYN. 1100, 10k, 14,000 gold, 10k coming up here for this for Jolts on the Rek'Sai. Just kind of with the rest of the pack at this moment, still ahead, but not enough to be the Sylas carry that you need. And they're gonna start setting up this death bush. They finally remembered to ward though.
Well, at least they're improving in some aspects with that. But right now they are looking to back away from this because they are outnumbered. The Rek'Sai is on top side, but the Forge God isn't looking to wait for your numbers. We're looking to get active now. We knock up the Wukong, but that's the clone that's right on top of us. Backing away now. The Rek'Sai gets that top turret, looking to push the inhib now. Can we get anything done? The Drake spawns on bot side, so we'll see if there's any more push in.
It's just free pushing at this moment. This is the Rek'Sai thing. You called it perfectly of just play like a Scion, just split push become a slow creeping issue, and now all of a sudden, no decision is correct here from Icy. You're losing a tower somewhere, and it's going to be that top side first. They're going to try and go mid, but already half HP on Potato.
But it looks like we are trying to get something done. We're trying to keep people in place, lock them down, but BR is locked down and almost doesn't die, but he finally falls. Manny gets it for himself. And there is another kill on the Desi. So it is a 2 for 1 turret on the bottom, or 2 turrets on top side. We do get the Drake as well, so we got another Drake in our pockets if we are Icy. But again, like you said, there isn't really a win on that because of how much we lost.
Mm-hmm. You get the kills, but look at the wave states now here. We're starting to enter towards this Baron 45 seconds. You have to fix top tower. You fix mid. Bot's gonna not necessarily be an issue for you. It's actually pushing away, so you're gonna send someone there, and it's not gonna be at. It's gonna be at like the tier 1, enemy tier 1 by the time you get there. So as of right now, not a bad state for Icy. They don't have great vision, but they're starting to establish it here with this reset. Big thing for Manny is they're starting to work on RFC, which I feel like if you're playing Aphelios and you have to go RFC, something else has gone wrong. The big thing, though, is that that's the final ornament finish, so Ornn passive is the best it can be. You get bonus stats for finishing these ornaments, and everyone else gets the bonus stats. Bagplate's also finished up. That hook's going to go wide under Jolts there, and that's just free reign to get out. I'm going to be real, Willie. You cannot be missing those.
Lock in, Willie. Lock in. The hook does guarantee... I don't know if it guarantees the kill, but it gets you pretty close. Because... does the Orianna have enough damage to kill that Rek'Sai there by herself?
No. No.
I mean, you can definitely put some burst, but like,
yeah,
I don't know.
You can force a reset, maybe a TP, but yeah, definitely not enough to kill. It's close though. Once that decap's finished, it's gonna be pretty scary here, but still happy to take this position. One's gonna take a little bit of poke, but as you can see there, kind of the job. You know, it's in the description. You sign the contract, you pick the Ornn. That's what you do.
When you lock in Ornn, part of it is I have to be able to soak just a ton of damage. I'm a punching bag, and that's part of the. It's the art of the deal right there. But we are again posturing around this Baron, and it looks like SYN just has the advantage, like the leg up on their positioning here. Manny a little bit forward on his positioning, but it doesn't seem to worry him too much. His boys are here surrounding him, but it looks like they want something. A little bit of aggression. The Yunara dashes in, trying to find something, but there's very, very split, like you said. Doesn't seem like anything's going to come of it just yet.
Nothing quite yet. They are going to pop that Yunara ult really early.
Here we go.
Forcing.
There's the flash in, and here's the Forge God coming down. Goes wide, he gets a 7-10 split right there. Nothing going on from that, but we're in. The Shockwave is good, and now the knockups, the CC, everything's in there. But Manny draws the first blood of this fight, followed up by a shutdown onto the Syndra. Big damage, big numbers. Rek'Sai finishes off Manny, but can we catch her? We do. We lock her down, but no, we don't get a kill. Double kill for the Rek'Sai. Turn it around, turn up Tom, locks down another.
Good chains.
But the Rek'Sai finally falls. Zhao and Brotato is the only one left. But BR is the only thing that stands between them and getting whatever the hell they want. BR on the run while Zhao chases him down. Oh, Zhao!
Keep it going. Does he try and dash over the wall? Nothing there. Nice. I guess the Alistar lives there. Took so much damage on the initial. Some people get so focused on on Alistar, trying to use the ultimate to, ignore a CC, that you forget that the whole purpose of it is that damage reduction. And BR held onto it for so long that they just got half bursted before they popped the ultimate, and it happened to be for CC there. Everyone else, though, didn't really get their job done. Once again, SYN really should be transitioning over into that proper pick comp, and didn't, they're not doing that. They're still trying to 5v5. It's okay, especially because that fight went pretty well for the fact that Yonara didn't have ultimate. Just at all. No ultimate, but Shockwave went wide there from Brotato, almost grabbing 3, but just barely not. And that's going to be the difference that allows SYN to at least still happily walk through this map 20 seconds before this dragon spawns. And it's no flash for Brotato, no flash for Manny, and they re-engage looking fine, but SYN right now happily in control of this river.
With SYN right now, that fight started so well for them because of all the stuff that Ice missed. It was good because of how bad it started for Ice. But then again, and then it just fell apart for them. The hook off the mark, but it looks like we're engaging. We're knocking up 4 from different sources, but it doesn't really matter because we're in there. Desi doing the spin move, and the Forge God is called, but it might be a bit too late. Turnup picks up another one, and we're shredding through the boys on Ice. We're breaking the ice. We're smashing it, throwing it into the ground. Pushed away is the Silas. Zhao, though, looking to try to get active, trying to get something done. It looks like the healing is good. This fight, we still have 2 full health targets on the side of Ice, but it doesn't matter. Zhao falls down, Joe picks up Willie, and now Nick is the only one left. The unkillable Orange looking pretty killable when he's by himself, but he does turn it around on a BR. He's going in, he's looking for something here. He slams his head into the wall, trying to get a knockup onto somebody, but he's chasing down the Syndra, gets pushed away, and it looks like he will finally fall down after long enough. Still, man, this is taking forever. Come on.
Yeah, this take forever.
Kill him,
guys.
Bruh. There we go.
Yeah, I don't even Spirit's got a good.
I think that character's pretty good.
I think Orange's pretty good. I think Unenemy Spirit's pretty good too here, and you can see kind of at the start of this fight how long ago it was. First off, good hook dodge, and a big thing you're gonna watch here. You're gonna watch Zhao, PP, single off Turnip Tom. They're gonna kind of walk themselves into that banana brush. But here on the main engage, it's Manny just getting caught out instantly. All 3 of the beefiest members of the side of SYN eating that Inferno Salt, and they're happy to do that. But the CC from Nick keeping us relatively close, all things considered. But there's only so much CC that can get landed when your AD carry is just dead, your consistent DPS is just dead. That's why it takes SYN so long to find these kills. They're waiting for their cooldowns more than anything else. And Desi can't quite sit in the middle of a Ornn Silas and just, auto attack away with the Conqueror. So it's okay that it took so long. The big thing, though, that's Soul. Hextech Soul, which is a slow for free. SYN, you know what's really good when you have Hextech Soul? Picks. Look for picks, guys. Please. Or I don't know. It's still working to team fight, to be honest.
I mean, right now, I feel like you were mentioning before, they're not playing to their comp strength, but it's working occasionally. Like that last fight, it worked. The one before that, though, it did not. But now we have Baron, we have the Hextech. We're going to push this down. We're looking for something. The clone looking for something that's its own death. We see now we're just kind of
plus 25
posturing. Plus 25.
You get the clone plus 25. It's whatever. We got the clone. It's fine. But the pushing still pretty good here from Jolts and starting to ding over into those over 18 levels that the that the top lane quest lets you do. I really was hoping I'd see someone try and pressuring this top wave specifically. It's pretty free just to get it in and try and get access to inhib. Yes, I know you don't need to because the inhib's exposed already. But it's something nice. It's like extra credit on the test. You know, that last question at the very back would be good here. But the mid inhibitor is going to fall. It's going to allow them to collapse towards bot side and try and force this fight. I don't want to see them fight on the tower. I want to see them kind of temper for a little bit and try and adjust their lanes. But I don't think they're going to listen to me at all.
Well, it doesn't seem like they're listening because they're listening to the call of the Forge God, because that's what's screaming in their ears right now. Knock up on one, and Desi is put down into the dirt. They tried to pick Willie, but Willie is still there, and he's still going strong. And he lives for that. Manny takes down BR, and the chase is on. We do get the turret, but is that going to matter? Because the rest of us are falling apart. Jolts picks up one, but doesn't pick up anything else. All that's left is Tom, and Tom falls. Triple kill for Manny.
It's just why I didn't want them to fight under the tower, just at all. Manny's super strong in that base, had the right guns to go with. Yeah, I know technically red-white, as you can see, they just dinged over to them, is better for just team fights, but Blue Ultimate does perfectly fine as well. Blue-red is so good as well, and they've got that empowered Infinity Edge as well, so just too much damage coming from Icy here, and this is kind of that timer I was starting to talk about. 35 minutes is about the very end of this SYN comp, and you can't take, you know, quote-unquote honest team fights anymore. You have to try and find abuses somewhere else, and if they're not willing to do that, they're not willing to push their lanes, if they just want to kind of front to back under the enemy tower, you know, I'm going to be real, you kind of deserve to lose these fights like this.
Well, they did exactly what you told them not to do, and it worked out poorly for them. So it's kind of just, you know, the writing on the wall. You took a front-to-back fight when you have a pick composition. It worked for you when you weren't at, like, an absurd disadvantage in terms of, like, being under a turret. So what makes you think that it was going to work when you were under the turret? I don't know. It's a little clunky, We got to try again.
I feel SYN is under the impression that they have a teamfight comp because these characters in isolation do exist in teamfights. Syndra and Wukong on their own are great in teamfights. But when you put them together, you don't have a whole lot else going for your team after your ultimates are blown, and they're so front-loaded in their damage that's why you do switch to pick specifically. That's why I recognize it as a pick comp. So you know, you kind of need to do that, but a minute 20 here before Elder means that you can start to set up very easy pick-ups. You don't have to try and set it up. Someone is going to walk alone towards this river, and you're going to get something, even if that's popping Manny's GA. That's perfectly worth it here. So I need to see them kind of try and target that if they can, set up some deeper vision here, and so far they haven't quite gotten anything super deep, but they've got River warded, they've got Tribush, they've got the front of that Raptor camp there, so it's enough for now. But this next reset here, it's got to be big on vision, or they're going to try an honest fight to, you know, front to back again, and they're just going to lose.
At this point, we have this difficult point, because now we see everybody's grouped up. That was a Rek'Sai throwing something at him and scaring them all. But again, we have an impasse where we're trying to get something done, and we just can't because our composition's worse at team fighting than theirs. And everybody's grouped up. It's 40 minutes into the game. There is no reason for anybody to be split on the map other than maybe the Rek'Sai, right? So yeah, we gotta find the pick somewhere, but it looks like we're just like not able to.
They're so convinced that they can just kind of team fight their way out of this right now. That's why they're grouping up like this. They're completely ignoring 3 waves crashing top. Now they don't have that luxury anymore. Elder's getting started up right now, and the big thing is Protano doesn't have flash, and that's really the only thing you can abuse here.
Well, Nyx is looking pretty abusable right now because he's taking all this damage,
Nyx
walks right in front of their AD carry, and takes all of that damage. The one person who can kill you, you can't ignore her, but the double kill goes to the Syndra. The Syndra's looking to walk back in to the rest of the boys. BR falls while stalling the rest. This Elder looking and will go and be secured by SYN. And now on the chase, we're looking to catch anybody else out. Willie might be the first target. No, we catch out Protato, and Protato on the run now. Rek'Sai doesn't want to bite off more than she can chew. But the wraparound from the Syndra teleporting behind them, and so does the Rek'Sai. Trying to catch him. Willie falls down. Desi pops the Guardian Angel on the Aphelios. Looks like that's going to be... that might be curtains. All that's left is Protato, and I don't know if he's got it in him.
Protato has got Shockwave. There's a wave coming here in a second. Otherwise, it's just this one minions. This tower isn't going to take too much damage, and the Shockwave is going to get burned out pretty quickly, but it's so late into this game here. There's too much going for SYN when he force fights like that so well. Specifically, that last team fight there, it was great sectioning off done, specifically gunning down, not Iceborn Exodia, it was SYN on the win. But they focused down Manny so hard. They just gunned down Manny in the backline. They drew out this fight and made two separate fights going on. BR and Jolt are more than tanky enough to be able to sit in that backline for a while. Yeah, eventually this Aphelios is going to have the damage to kill, but until that happens, until that kill actually works, you're stuck. Your Aphelios is stuck there hitting the two diving tanks that don't matter in terms of how the fight is going to go specifically. So really well done there, and a big pickup for Turnip Tom, Night Parade, and Destiny to kind of recognize that and take that even number advantage for them on that other fight. So SYN overall just kind of out-mechanic their way through this game.
I need some cleanup. That's what I need, because that was a dirty, dirty game from both teams. We need some cleanup. Ice had advantages, like, all over the place, and fumbled, ultimately. It's a dirty game, but I guess it's a dirty place right now. Titan Esports with this little bit of a replay on this last fight here.
It's that sectioning off. They're so focused. Manny has to focus on the jolts there. They can't run away. Exactly as I mentioned there. And Zhao is so late in the game that the Sylas isn't actually tanky anymore. Sylas kind of swaps into this like burst assassin, like a Talon, and you've been playing as a bruiser this whole game, and you swap to a Talon, and that's just not going to work too well there. You can see how threatening Manny is here specifically. If a front to back fight happened, if there was a way for the Shockwave from Orianna to help peel, there was 100% an easy access win for Icy. So just need to see them create those situations better. Don't get so sectioned off. And they'll be able to find success. But if they're happy to take, whatever SYN is throwing at them and take those disjointed fights, of course they're going to lose.
We have to, when our front to back team fight composition splits a fight and takes like a 2v3 and a 3v2 at separate points, it becomes sloppy and it becomes messy and it becomes difficult to win, unfortunately. But that's the thing to think about. We got a new game coming up soon, a new composition, Fearless Draft reminder. So none of these characters that were here just now, none of these champs will be available for the next one. But it's going to go to a quick break. We'll be back with you soon.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the old well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing cushion clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Welcome back,
Oh,
everybody,
I'm Jan.
to the Titan Esports League. I'm not a Valve Game, still joined by Halfling. And we are back once again. Game 2, Ice versus SYN. And I want to see it cleaned up, man. I really do want to see it cleaned up because last game was sloppy for sure.
Both teams sloppy. There was, I think it's kind of the beauty of the skill range is you start to see like people emulating properly what you see in the professional scene. But you see room for improvement, so it's always fun to kind of watch these games and get that little in between, and you can kind of watch them shore up their cracks in between games. So big thing we saw from SYN specifically is getting better at identifying their team comp win condition, because that game dragged out way too long. They had no business being that game for as long as they did. And Icy here just need to get more comfortable with it. Kind of the same thing specifically. They understood that their win con was, hey, just sit, chill, and scale. But they got a little too comfortable with that, all things considered, and kind of got caught out way too many times, and then messed up some late game fights. But moving on through, nothing changed. Actually, one thing changing on the bans, the Sivir banned by Icy here. And are we going to see the SYN kind of classic with the Corki or Xin Zhao first pick? These two champions pretty much get traded blow for blow here in game 2.
Looks like the Corki is going to be first picked. And you mentioned it last game that Corki was something you brought up, but it was drifted away from. I have a friend who casts quite frequently here, Aussie, who really does not like Corki.
Really?
From what I've seen, he just, I don't know. Every time he sees it, he's just like, man, I'm not the biggest fan of Corki. But Ashe is a turnaround pickup. We'll see what they pair with it. The Seraphine. I was about to ask about jungles, but okay,
Ashe
why are you so
Seraphine.
excited?
I love Ashe Seraphine. This is such a funny thing to take up because this is like an old, initially when it was kind of thought up of, it was like one of those boosting strategies, but nowadays it's just a proper pick. Ashe has slows, Seraphine gets the free roots off of them with her E, so they're just a match made in heaven. They're able to stand up to the aggression that Corki brings by just CCing it and isolating specific targets, also having great damage here. Mel is something I'm a little bit more questionable about. Yes, her numbers got brought back up after the gut that she got, the absolute gut-wrenching blow Riot delivered to her while trying to figure out what to do with the rework. So I want to see how that's going to perform here, because if that's going mid here for Night Parade, I just prefer Rise over it. And then Xin Zhao is kind of just a mainstay in the jungle meta right now. You like dueling, you're going to get a Xin Zhao here once Wukong is off the table. And typically that response from Icy is going to be Pantheon. And I'd really like to see Pantheon from them here. So if SYN don't ban it and Icy don't pick it on 4, I'm going to make another stinky face, but I can't do a whole lot about it.
Make another stinky face.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do a whole lot about it. Looks like the support bans are what Icy are taking away, and jungle bans are what SYN are taking away. We'll see if the Pantheon is what is banned away, but do you think it's... No, it's the Lee Sin, actually, it's taken away. But we'll see if they respond with that Pantheon, or they look elsewhere. Because you do see there's quite a bit of damage coming on the side of Icy right now.
Yeah,
in terms of the Ashe and the Rise.
They're doing pretty good on damage here, so just something to kind of brawl and exist on its own. Which is going to be that Jax, and Jax can flex between top and jungle, so I do like this pick. Pantheon can too, but you do need a Pantheon player specifically to do that, so I completely understand what they're going with here, and thankfully I'm not going to have to see support Mel. It's going to be Leona, typically something that's meant to force Ashe into the into cleanse specifically, so that way she can't brawl as far forward as normally the Ashe Seraphine is allowed to. Leona can punish that, and Cassante with this last lock in here, Icy kind of can pick whatever the hell they want.
Is it Jack's top, or do we think we're getting something else?
I think we're getting something else. Well, there we go. What do you know? Is Renekton. Happy to deal with Cassante. Renekton is okay. Nick was in a very good spot through most of that lane, so I'm happy to see them on something that can maybe try to punish that a little more here. But at the same time, I get a little worried because the scaling, yes, it's there for Icy, and your fight to sit, your ways and paths to fighting are there, but they had the luxury of so much frontline specifically, and that's kind of dropping off. They've taken a couple steps back. Rise gets kind of tanky, but isn't a tank. It's a mage. Renekton gets kind of tanky with Sterex, but once again, not a tank. Jax, Counter-Strike lets you get a little tanky, but not a true tank. So Icy have to adjust and have to be a lot faster on their fight decisions, because if they hesitate for a second, they're just kind of out of it.
Nope, we'll see exactly who gets the advantage on this one, because this is match point or set point for SYN. So we'll have to see if Icy can slip this one back into their favor, because that last game was in their favor until they kind of slipped up for themselves.
The classic line. You know, they were winning until they weren't.
Yeah, exactly. They were winning until they weren't. I mean, they had the cards were in their favor, you know, because like they had the team fight comp and then they lost the team fights. I mean, they were winning until they weren't.
Always love when I bust that one out. I love busting that one out.
I mean, it's so accurate though. They were winning until they weren't.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
We're taking a lot of poke.
Poke is turning into BR just
losing his entire HP bar? Yes.
Yeah, just losing his entire HP bar. I understand the feeling, though. You're getting annoyed. You want to try and force a play, but Tom just can't follow up at all here. And everywhere across the map going kind of business as usual. Even in the mid lane, going to be a little bit in favor HP-wise of Night Parade, just because Mel has good poke. Protato has to spend HP to push, but is going to be up positive on mana because of that tier in their inventory. And Nick is just going to have priority most of the time, so it's going to be on if Desi on this reset clear, so after the reset, coming to that second clear, if they can try and punish that, and it's going to be on Nick to try and crash the wave and bounce it back.
Right now, we do have... BR is in kind of in that awkward situation where he's the only melee character in a lane with only ranged people right now. So he's kind of just... If he wants to walk in, he's taking a beating, which really stinks. But, you know, you're going to have to adapt, and if you want to win, you're going to have to survive that and keep going. Right now, I'm curious to see where these junglers are going, because last time both of them went towards bot side, but it looks like Zhao is trying to get a little active possible invade here.
Yeah, looking to... You want to try to abuse Jax's early dueling potential, and Desi's kind of getting a little bit of a read on that, mostly trying to kind of cheat towards this gank here, and they're going to meet Zhao up here, and Zhao's got this red buff, so the dueling's going to favor the Jax, and oh my, we missed a first blood.
The first blood is already gone. Turnup has already picked that up, but we snag onto Willie trying to chase through, but the leap from the Jax is good, but do we have enough time? Willie is falling lower and lower, but he does get out, barely, both of them. But look at Mel, look at Desi going in to pick up that kill on Zhao, and Mel comes in with the flash to make sure we get another kill. 3 going to the pockets, a SYN.
This was the blood that we were promised. Also happening here in the top lane. It's going to get really low.
Oh. Nyx needs the healing, but gets knocked back, and the flash out barely lives that.
So close. Maybe Jolts can try and challenge with the Intofu strikes on these minions. I feel like you cheat this recall. You don't fully reset as Jolts here. Yes, you don't have mana to really push, but just try and abuse that a little bit. Yes, Nick is going to TP regardless, but this is of course me not being in this game. There's a reason I'm not in this game playing top lane. BR though, gonna find this gank mid lane.
Uh-oh. Well, the BR is here to get active. He's in this game, and he's trying to get onto Protato. But Protato does throw some damage back. The stun gunning onto Zhao, and Zhao wants to walk away, puts a thumbs up. I'm all right, guys. We're fine. He's walking away, going back to that crab.
Trying to entice. You know, you jiggle the lure in the water, try to catch that fish, but just not quite able to follow up. They pinged exactly where Seraphine's going, and this is the single kill, the solo kill bot lane. It's just Willie on a random timer. I was wondering what they were doing towards that tri-rush, so kind of just on a little random warding timer, getting abused perfectly. BR was showing that they wanted to try and fight aggressively like this, so I don't really get why Icy wasn't respecting this, but a little bit of an overcook from Desi. You want the kill. I get it. But gonna deliver one back, so still some gold, little consolation prize for Icy here, but still a kill for Corki. Corki's getting fed is always scary.
It's scary, and we'll see how scary it feels, because Manny's feeling the pain right now, but Turnip Tom is getting it back towards him, so it's not too crazy just yet. And now Zhao is coming in. Zhao is looking to get onto BR, and BR is dead for sure. He's bringing him away from the boys. Thumbs up again. Man, that's so... I'm sorry, that's so funny. The thumbs up. He's coming by. He's like, great job. Like, the kill.
There's a kill. The slow from the slow from Ashe is so hard. You have to be certain that when you are trading with an Ashe, when you're trying to go for those all-in plays, that you're gonna win them. You have to be able to do it. Otherwise, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Especially with this Ashe Seraphine bot lane, you can't get away. You make a mistake, you can't get away. You're dead. It doesn't matter. The slow is going to add up so much. The root's going to come off cooldown 2 times. I've timed this before just from how much this lane has pissed me off myself, the Ashe Seraphine. if you start at enemy tier 1 tower and you walk back, you're gonna get Seraphine rooted 2 times. Minimum. It's so hard to get away. So you have to make sure you win. And yes, this Corki is fed, like I mentioned, is in a pretty good spot, but not quite enough there. And that Reflect's gonna do a lot of damage here. BR back in the mid lane. I do respect this activity because you have to get out of the lane, but it's gonna be so hard once they're starting to expect it.
Well, right now, he doesn't want to be... Oh, Potato falls
Cool.
down!
Oh, yeah. Mel. They may have nerfed it. They've killed the idea, but they did not kill the action there, and maybe
Not
go
the passion.
all out? Not the passion.
That's a lot of damage. Renekton
All
forced
out.
into the ultimate just there, looking to try to survive this. It doesn't...
Cooldowns.
I don't know. But at the bot side, Willie falls
Bye,
down
Willie.
because of the gank. But on the top side, Renekton's still getting battered, getting put down. Jolts gets it. And that is a 1-for-1, but across the map. No, excuse me. No, it isn't. They're on the same team. Come on, Valve. Wake up. They're on the same team. 2 kills going in the pocket of SYN.
This is what standard SYN games look like. The competition was greatly exaggerated from Icy at this moment. They're super SYN is super early game focused. They're super ready to just brawl out as much as they can, and they drafted themselves a comp to do this, and they're getting wet and wild early, and it's working super well. And I'm happy to see that. And under the tower, this root's going to put a little bit of extra damage into Potato, but not enough to kill. The only really thing that Icy's going to get from this is some jungle camps on the blue side, and that's going to get spotted out. Can't do anything with it, but it's going to get spotted out at least here. And that's going to maybe force this mid gank.
It might. We'll see exactly.
Flash.
Xin Zhao does tag him at the edge of that spear real quick, knock him up, put him down, and Mel gets another kill for herself. Lock it in. Man, I'm surprised that hit, I'm going to be honest.
It is very long, and Jolts is now overextended.
No, well, Jolts jumped in, and let's see if he is long for this world, because the Jax is here trying to get something done. Is the Sheen damage going to be enough? He's actually getting turned around, and he
Dude.
gets put into the dirt!
Oh, no, wait.
Turn up Tom? No, never mind.
Never mind. Exactly. Yeah, never mind. Both the cleanses are going to go there, but specifically Turnip Tom is going to be able to hold on to their flash so they can kind of abuse that. Nightmare early game for Icy at this moment. They want to try and scale, but you do have very aggressive side lanes. Your goal on your side lanes is to be up pretty much permanently for the entire duration of the game, up until like 40 minutes when Cassante can just full on out 1v1 the Renekton. I'm assuming the Renekton's ahead like 1 to 2,000 gold for the entire game. At this moment, already behind 1,000 just about at this moment. Not a whole lot you can do. Desi's gotten super active on this map, has been super clean throughout the entire time.
Oh, no.
It's so hard. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Apps getting destroyed right now, but no, not enough damage. Jolts pops a shield from nowhere and takes no damage from that tower shot. Unfortunately for the Renekton there. Forced into that Dominus, and then just... Man, he's getting battered right now. And usually when you see the Renekton, he's the one doing the battering.
Mm-hmm. It's the Bramble Vest. Bramble Vest plus Chain Vest is really good on any of the tanks into Renekton. That's like your required building items before you can start kind of doing whatever else you want to. On Cassante, who gets damage for building armor and cooldown for building armor, is really good.
It's the things after the stuff.
It's the extra. It's the things. I'm taking that one for the later. It is the things after the stuff. 100%.
I have to ode to the person that was a take on somebody else. The stuff after the stuff. The Smite caster, who said that. But now pushing. Oh, I thought there might be something, but no. I believe it was F Dot who said that first. So that's his, not mine.
Jolts, you have that red buff. You want to try and abuse like the last seconds of that duration there. Just get it off, but still fine, still happy. Hydrated, moisturized. Unlike Willie.
Unbothered, but Willie is definitely bothered. Jax is bothered. He's like, get off my boy! And he jumps in right there. Desi, though, comes on the backside looking for Manny, but doesn't find anything. And actually, we find a Jed Zhao on the same side because we just walk past Mel and then get exploded.
Mm-hmm. Mel kind of does that. You're going to find, this might be one of your first few games seeing Mel.
I've seen her a few times.
You've seen her a few times? She's like 10% weaker than she used to be. That's the best part.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
I know. Well, 4-0 does that to anyone. BFT in a game with a ton of squishies who aren't building resistances is really good Blackfire Torch. And this is going to be in Tofa strike into an all-out here in a second. Nick Walls is not long for this world.
Well, we'll see if this Dominus does anything, but it looks like no, he lived. He lived for that. So he does get through, and you got to get out of here. There's no way you're walking back into this.
Does have Empower Call the Meek is back up. This is a lot of minions that are going to try and sustain off of it. Didn't get as much HP as maybe you expected, so calls off that gank from Zhao. Next steps for Icy is super hard. It's a minute for this dragon here. Like, you can't contest it. Your bot lane that's supposed to be super ahead is 9. Yeah, not. They're in an okay spot right now, but usually this is an okay spot if the rest of the map's winning, but literally no one is even on the rest of this team here for the side of Icy, so it's just kind of a rough situation. They can try and contest around 2 items 100%, try and farm up for those, put yourselves in a very comfortable spot, and you'll be able to succeed. But if you're not ready to try and scale, if you're not ready to wait for this rise to try and pay dividends,
BR off the mark with that grab, but the turnaround damage is there from Turn Up Tom, turn up, turn down, Willie go into the dirt.
Yeah, this I don't know if that's the status track, but I would 100% put Turn Up Tom as one of the best Corkis in this league right now, and that's exactly why. Yes, set up by BR, can miss literally everything and it doesn't matter. Same thing with this Mel. That is a very dead potato. Don't matter. Blink and he missed it.
I did blink. And suddenly, Potato was dead. Potato was, and that's just kind of the Mel effect. And she has a massive lead, 5 kills, 5-0 right now. We see an invade coming out. It looks like BR was here to try to stop it.
No, not again. Oh my God, BR masterclass with the.
This is a difficult situation, but it looks like, oh, here comes Mel. The fun's over, guys. It's time to run away. But it looks like Zhao is not. Renekton wanted none of that. He saw Mel coming over, and he's like, "You're on your own, boss."
It's doomed. I hate to be that guy. You know, I'm gonna try and curse it. It's doomed for Icy. They're so far behind at this moment. It's only 3,000 gold lead right now.
This guy's dead again.
Yeah, this guy's dead again. The ult isn't back up.
Nope. He got him.
Never mind. This GP, man. This is a beatdown.
Right there.
Full disclosure, I wrote down Potato as someone to watch. And
we're watching him.
We're watching him. Schultz is on a killing spree. What do you do? What can you do? Hey, welcome to Vanquisher. By the way, it has been 6 weeks, and we've only casted stomps. So, I know you're new here, but
it wasn't even a stomp. It was
it wasn't.
It was close, and it looked like this was gonna be like. I don't want to count them out just yet, but this is a
Vanquisher game right here, my friend. This is what we see every week, day in, day out. Is beatdown central here. Both teams do it usually, but in this case, it is just SYN at night.
What is it? One game beatdown, game 2 beatdown, and then game 3, it's just like
it's a beatdown as well.
Oh,
just for someone else.
I see. Well, it looks like Willie's getting beat down right now, taking some damage, but Turn Up Tom actually getting charged back in. The turnaround is there. No, Turn Up Tom putting a bunch of damage in, but Rise is coming down to the bot lane looking to make sure this secured, but no, BR turns it around on a Manny.
God, I love Leona.
Slams him back in, and now Willie is trying to get away, almost falls down to the Zinzao rotation.
Just out of range of the Zenith Blade there. I think I wasn't quite tracking BR's ultimate personally, and another Winds Become Lightning is going to land. Protato's playing with fire right now. I wasn't tracking BR's ultimate there pretty well, but I feel like if they used it earlier, it would have been fine. And yeah, speaking of ultimates.
The thumbs up. I'm sorry, the thumbs up there was absolute cinema. Protato's dead in the bot lane. Off the mark with that little stab right there. It doesn't catch Willie, but I'm sorry, that thumbs up really that was great. He was like, thanks, thanks for that.
It is I see. What can you do? That 3,000 gold lead is just ballooned away from them into was it 6,000 now? What can you do? I don't even know. Because Rise is supposed to be able to farm, and Rise can't farm in laning. That's the big issue, and this is also
That's a massive issue. That was a massive chunk of damage. Turnip Tom coming in, putting in the numbers right there. Zhao getting the numbers put into him. His dome ski right there. Falls down. Desi's here looking to put down another one.
Safe.
That's another kill. Manny falls down, and that's... While we do lose one, that BR's more than happy to take that every day of the week.
No one important died. That's the classic here. No one important died. Move on. It's kind of rough here. Oh no,
this guy's dead.
That guy's dead. Dude. Like one of these times, we gotta learn. This tower's also gone. SYN is. This is a beatdown. This ain't even a stomp. This is a beatdown on the curb. This is sad.
The lunch money's taken, and so are your like car keys. Like this is all gone. Like
they're doing it for the love of the game now. This is a beatdown for the love of the game. They've got everything already. Now starting to approach. They're approaching 8,000 gold lead, ready to kind of ding over into 10 once this dragon's taken. Herald's on the field. I feel like if Icy start this without 3 members hitting it immediately, there's a fight topside. Never mind. He's
I
gonna
wouldn't
miss
call
that.
this much of a fight. I'd call this, like you said, a beatdown.
Yeah.
The Leona ultimate's burned, and so is the Renekton.
Indeed, burned to crisp. But that's something a lot of people do like to do here. We can start talking about concepts because there's not much of this game left anymore. A lot of people will be very scared to burn Leona ultimate there, but it's already a third back at this moment. You kind of want to use that as a pick tool. So I like what I'm seeing here from SYN. I was asking them to try and go for picks more, go for these side lane plays more, and it feels like they just didn't. They felt like they weren't comfortable enough last game to be able to do that. Now they're doing that much better, and this Bush is working. I think Night Parade just wins this 1v1 anyway. Jax is supposed to be super good at those, and oh boy.
No, well, this is dangerous right now. BR gets the CC down, Jolts gets the kill down, and Zhao's just gonna just watch this happen because they're gonna try and stop it. But this Mel is absolutely gigantic right now, and I don't really think that they can do much of anything. Right now, we're here because we have passion, and we're gonna kill this Mel because we just. I'm sorry. What? How do we say this in the business? Mel decided that she just wanted to die. Yeah, we get.
Oh no,
Drake,
we're on it. We're on us here. She ran it down.
Oh, she inted. Yeah, no, she full inted.
Yeah.
There's no way that was like. I don't know. We do a bit of trolling.
Yeah. Do love these some Ghost Mutilators. Hold up.
Oh, looks like we are getting some the ghost. We'll see if there's a ghost of anybody past right now because the mid laner is past tense for SYN, so we'll see if that makes a difference. But in the air, Jax goes down right afterwards, and we knock up 2. We're running away on the side. Manny is all alone, but it doesn't seem to matter. Jolt takes down 1, looking for another one himself, but he doesn't find it. Turnip Tom puts some damage in, and Desi takes down the Seraphine. This mid T2 is going to fall.
Honor Jolts for that tower tanking right there. Beautifully done. And, you know, I was counting, you know, typically I'm big on, you know, you got to make sure to count to 10, count to 5 before you start your fight. You don't need to do that when you're 7,000 gold ahead, when missing 1 member is that 7,000 gold difference. That was just an even fight for this game. That is what an even fight looks like for both these teams. That's how much of an advantage SYN at Night has. And it's just so hard to overcome. Your tools that are meant to be able to, you know, help in these fights. Yeah, that is meant to be your Renekton who's able to stand up front. Your Jax that's meant to be like a flanking threat. That's meant to be something that your Corki and your Mel have to worry about. 1 and 7, just not going to be able to get online in this game for the next 30 minutes. Same thing with Ryze, really struggling to find their spot in the map right now, and could be a Desi pick here.
We'll see. I mean, we say could be a Desi pick, but Desi seems to be very, very content to soak up all this damage. Poking into Willy. Willy goes down right after. Desi on the chase looking for Zhao. Zhao falls right after. The Renekton has rotated around looking for something. See if we can finish anything, but BR does take a little bit of damage, doesn't find anything else. He does take down Nyx, and Manny falls right after. There's 1 alive. It's the Rise, and we're going for Baron as soon as it spawns.
Yeah. Yeah, not much else. It's business as usual here. It's a pretty quick Baron take too for 20 minutes because they buffed this thing's tankiness, but we're so ahead in gold here at SYN at Night that it literally doesn't matter that they did that. The consolation prize here for Icy is a mid-wave.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, exactly. Did pick up the cannon at least. Good.
We're catching up.
We're catching up. We're farming on side. Only 10,000 gold behind at 20 minutes. This is one of the bigger stomps we've seen here on the stream. Continuing to try our best to curse to make some sort of game. But in the meantime, your Ashe is your primary damage carry at this moment. The only person that is close to the gold of their counterpart is the Ashe, who picked up that like 1,000 gold shutdown from Mel. So maybe something we can get going here. But
Zhao needs to get going anywhere else but where he is right now. Unfortunately, that means the soil, because he's gone. Nyx is going to join him real soon. Desi, godlike now, takes down the crocodile, and it looks like we're catching out Jolts, but Jolts doesn't die just yet. We're summoning the Herald to bring in the boys because we're heralding the end of Icy right here. Jolts lives, we take down another, and that's 4 right there for you.
That's the tower. Good. Okay, driver's license acquired. Hold up, there we go. Alrighty. I was gonna say, man, there's still plates. Those don't expire anymore.
Did they end the game?
Monk. Yeah, they can 100% end the game here. There's so many Grublings. They've got the 3 Void Grubs. They've got the Herald as well. They're going to at least get one more Nexus Tower here. They could try to overextend.
But Zhao is dead.
Jesus Christ.
Zhao is dead.
Yeah.
We'll see if anybody else dies. And it looks like that guy's dead. Willie.
Holy.
And the crocodile's dying too. He's dead. Zhao's already gone. The game's already over. Night Parade takes down another.
Just business as usual here on Vanquisher. Oh, no.
We're making sure we wipe the team before we do. We wipe the team, we wipe the game, and we take the game. SYN at night commits the sin of greed by taking it this sweet time, making sure they take down all the kills, getting everybody down one more time, adding up those numbers to make sure the game ends. Absolute domination.
39-6 is a record. I can confidently say that here, at least for this season here on Vanquisher. That is a record on the stream for just absolute beatdowns. Not much else we can really look at. From minute 1, there was just kind of a lack of kind of understanding of what needs to happen here from Icy in order to win. Specifically kind of looking at mid lane, Potato Senpai, generally the person you want to look at here for this Icy squad as someone that is a light spot, but just wasn't able to get online at all, was already losing on those like HP versus mana trades. They're supposed to kind of be even in HP and up in mana as Rise with that tier, but down HP and up mana at least, but pretty much from that moment onward was just a downward spiral for this Icy squad. They weren't able to even start in this game. The bot lane had a good level 1 trade. Top lane was even level 1 for about as long as level 3. The junglers were even for the first gank, so there's not much you can write. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot you could take away from this game. It's one of those, like, you know, you go next and hopefully it's a scrim so you can just kind of queue again, but unfortunately that is that's the 2-0 for poor old Icy. So down a peg.
Down a peg indeed, but those are the kind of games, like you said, you brush off and you're like, yeah, let's just go next, guys. Let's just go next. And you learn from experiences like that. That first game is certainly a learning experience. So you take that, you take it with pride, and you move on. But that is going to be it from us tonight. And the Titans Esport League. This was SYN versus Icy. I've been Out of Valve Game, joined by Halfling and our wonderful production crew. Have a great night.